After many years of soul searching and doing shamanic work, I decided to go back to the Philippines where I was raised, because your formative years from baby, when you are used to that food, it's easier to remember who you are, your original energy form. Is that recording or not?
Recording.
Okay. Hello, fellow human beings. I'm here today to talk more about what I had been sharing in my past workshops. It's about the causes of energy imbalance. There are 4 causes that I had been sharing. The first one is from food or drink that we take in, and the second one is our thought forms, the way we think and the way we act. And the next one is improper posture and improper breathing. And the fourth one is karma, past life or ancestral trauma. The first 3 we have immediate control. The fourth one, karma, it's a lifelong work. So I like to talk first about food intake. Anything that you put into your body becomes part of you. So the vibration of that food or drink affects your original vibration. That's how important it is. After many years of soul searching and doing shamanic work, I decided to go back to the Philippines where I was raised, because your formative years from baby, when you are used to that food, it's easier to remember who you are, your original energy form. What I realized is that in my growing years as a child, we ate food directly from the earth. The Ifugao tribe where I belong, they are not nomadic. They have settlements and they domesticated plants and animals, but we still forage. So what you forage from the wild, especially from an undisturbed forest, call it virgin forest, the energy of that fruit or whatever food that you find there is very strong. And even when we domesticated plants and animals, it's still strong because the earth is relatively undisturbed, and there are many if it's a vegetables, there are many kinds of vegetables that is grown in a plot. Call it biodiversity. So there's a diverse plant. So the energy of the plant that you eat is still high compared to monoculture, where you know a single kind of plant is planted in a wide area, and when that area is heavily fertilized and heavily spread with pesticides, the energy of the soil that supplies the plant becomes less and less. And then when you process that food before you eat, the more the energy is lessened. So I'm here to talk about that because many people today eat processed food. And think about the children who grow up and they don't know that there is alternative, there's another way. They don't know unless there is an opportunity for them to go to the wilds and learn that there are edible plants in the wild and that you can plant something on the soil, you can cultivate, but you can maintain the high energy of that plant. We have a responsibility for our body and responsibility for the next generation. So think about that. What kind of food do you put in your body? Call it preventive medicine, if you may. Our thought forms and actions. Again, I like to use my own experience. So anything I say here, I claim responsibility. So I grew up in a village without outside influences. So of course my thought forms and my actions is based from what I see from my or what I saw from my parents and my neighbors. I like to talk about respect here. So when you act and think with respect as the core, and respect, I mean respecting the interdependence, interconnectedness of life. Think of your body as a community, as a microcosm of the whole universe. Start with that body, respecting all parts of your body. I like to give an example of how these four causes of imbalance are all connected. So food is connected with our thought form and actions. So I grew up eating food from the wild or food from our farm, and they gave me good energy. But when I went to school and learned about science, learned about religion, that thought form changes. I believed before that it is good to eat something that is bought. That went on until I went to higher education. I got sick. That's, of course, an energy imbalance. And what I had been depending on, the belief that science will take care of any problem and religion will fix anything that science cannot fix. So when I realized that thought form is a good idea, but it actually kept us from going back to that original alignment of our energetic bodies. Alignment, I mean alignment with the source. That's in harmony with nature. So your energetic bodies, imagine that it's originally harmonious until you change that thought form and you eat the improper food, then it causes imbalance. Let's move up to proper posture and proper breathing. So what I've been focusing since I went to school is about success and achievement. I believe then that what the educated and highly religious people describe my tribe, that we are primitive, then you know that there are many negative attributes connected to that word primitive. So I believe then. So I have to succeed. So I work hard in school in order to succeed. And then after school, I work hard to achieve. Yeah, that success, according to this modern society, where it is based on tangible and measurable achievements. The amount of money you have, the size of house and the car, and the kind of education you have. So I was focused on that for a while until again that sickness hit me. Then I look back to how indigenous people define success or achievement. So I realized that we really complicated life, and the result is energy imbalance. I'll give you an example of how it's related to posture and improper posture and improper breathing. So you, along that success, you earn a lot of money, you have a big house, you buy cushion, thick cushion. That's very comfortable to sit on or sleep on. But when you sleep in a thick mattress, your spinal column is actually crooked. When you sit on that couch, your spinal column is actually crooked. And the spinal column is the main channel of energy in your body. So over time, when you have that improper posture, eventually you will have an energy imbalance. that sickness will set in. And you add breathing. The proper breathing is what is called the baby breathing, because the newborn baby use the diaphragm to breathe, and somehow as we grow up we start breathing using our upper body. It's not our fault, but when you realize that, it's good to practice abdominal breathing. There's nobody to blame here. But it's also not taught to us in school. Well, there are probably some school that taught you. In the school that I attended, I did not learn about breathing until I started doing Tai Chi and Qigong. Then I became aware of the importance of breathing. That's the connection that I see, and that's the example I give you. Let's add the fourth one, karma or ancestral trauma. Like I said, they are all interrelated. So I woke up this morning and I pondered on the death of a relative back home. My relative sent a breakdown of their expenses, and the most expensive the most expensive part is funeral service. So I again pondered of the simple life I know growing up, where a mother delivered a baby and there's no expense. It's natural. So think about C-section and about all the complications that is described by medical doctors. I don't blame you, medical doctors, because that's what you learn. But this is one thing that we need to think about. Birth is natural. The mother and baby will work together. So before you say you need to have a C-section, think about that. It's still not time for the mother and the baby. So, of course, the position will change until the baby is born. That is the initial expense that I believe is necessary. I mean, unnecessary. And then this society that we created, as soon as a child starts to buy, that's already contributing to this capitalistic world that creates a lot of stress. So you spend to learn to, everything is almost dependent on money. Until you are buried, you have to use money. When I was growing up, I learned a lot from my elders just by listening to them talk during an apapuy, where you sit around the fire, or there's an event and people are gathered and you learn from them. I did not have to pay anything. Why do we have to pay a lot to learn? And then why do we have to pay a lot to be buried? If you talk to the earth will say, I am not the one who charged you. It's you, crazy human. creating all these laws. So think about that.